Coming off a shocking loss on Saturday, the United States are in a do-or-die situation as they head into the final game of group qualifying play here in Nashville, Tennessee. I'm Kristen Kenney alongside Ivis Galarsip of Fox Soccer. And Ivis, as they face El Salvador on Monday, can they bounce back?
Well, it's not much time for them to dwell on the loss on Saturday to Canada, but just talking to the players today, you saw a confident group, a group that believes they can bounce back, a group that in their short history together has actually bounced back when they faced adversity. Although I will say Monday night's a completely different ball game. Right now they're playing for their Olympic lives. If they lose on Monday, the United States is out of the Olympics. So they know there's no room for error. So I think this is a talented bunch, and I think they're going to show what they're made of.
Coach Porter has a lot of depth on this team. Will we see some changes in the starting lineup?
I think Caleb Porter has no choice but to make some changes when you think about playing 3 games in 5 days and as many disappointing individual performances as we saw on Saturday against Canada. I think he's going to have to make some changes, and there's some positions that clearly are in question. When you talk about goalkeeper Bill Hamid struggling against Canada, you talk about forward Till Bunbury not looking that good up top, and also in the midfield there's some questions about fatigue and the playmakers not looking as sharp. So I think you're going to see some new faces. I think Joe Zhao, who's looked great as a substitute in both previous games. I think Terrence Boyd at forward, I think he'll probably get the start, and I think you can see a change in goal. Although Bill Hamid, he showed some maturity after the game. He accepted the blame for the mistakes that he made, and if anything, I think Caleb Porter might give him a chance to redeem himself.
And when you look at the midfield against Canada, the United States really seemed to struggle to find that rhythm. What can we expect facing El Salvador?
Well, I think it's a completely different kind of opponent. I think Canada was tailor-made to shut down the United States, playing the system they play and with the players that they put on that field. I think El Salvador is a completely different animal. They're an attack-minded team. I don't think they could bunker even if they wanted to. I know Caleb Porter today talked about he thinks they might sit back a bit, but just having watched them play, I don't think they have the players to do that. I think El Salvador is going to attack the United States. I think we're going to see a wide-open game, and I think that plays into the U.S.'s favor as far as the strengths of their team. So I think we'll see a wide-open game, and I think we could see a shootout.
Now, Ivis, you know this team really well. What are your predictions?
Well, I'd say I think you're going to see some of the better players, some of the more experienced players really step up here. When you talk about a player like Freddie Adu, who's been through this process repeated a few times and done really well, a player like Breck Shea, who also was one of the few bright spots against Canada, I think it's going to be a chance for some of the star players to really showcase themselves. And I think when you talk about those guys, a player like Joe Zhao, and even a player like Bill Hamid, who if he gets the chance to start, I think if anyone's going to be motivated to come out there and have a great game, it's going to be Bill Hamid. So I think the U.S. has what it takes to win that game.
Well, the pressure's certainly on as the United States face El Salvador in their final game of Olympic qualifying group play. I'm Kristen Kenney alongside Ivis Galarsip. You can follow news, updates, and video on foxsoccer.com. We'll see you next time.